Good morning. It's crunch time.
I'm very excited and interested. We'll see what happens here. I don't know.
Your mom bought those, like, while we were gone?
Yes. While we were in Atlanta.
Oh, they're that old?
Well, I mean, it wasn't open.
Yeah,
so,
they
like,
haven't been open, so they haven't gone stale.
They're not stale or anything. Yeah. This is... It looks, to the untrained eye, it looks like Cinnamon Toast Crunch. It's not. It's Sugar Cookie Toast Crunch, a special edition.
It's just extra sugar.
Okay.
Come here, Kepler. I could use a snuggle this morning. Come here.
You try one?
I did.
Wait, when?
When you sat down.
That quick?
Uh-huh. Come on, bud. Come on.
I don't think
Good boy,
think that this is more sugary. Actually, I really don't. I really don't. I think that this, the flavor of the square is different.
See, they look like they're glazed in sugar.
No, I don't think they're more sugary.
You almost
in fact,
hit your head on the table.
I kind of feel like it's less sugary.
It was there to protect.
I don't know what the sugar content comparison is, but it actually tastes slightly less sugary. In my opinion. Or less cinnamony. Which would make sense. It's not Cinnamon Toast Crunch. There is no cinnamon.
There's a little cinnamon.
There's a little cinnamon. It's okay. Anyway, hi everybody. It's not bad. It's not like that friggin' whatever the crap thing I ate on Tuesday. Everything bagel Pop-Tart. Huh!
Michael asked how you liked those, and I said the smell of them turned to my stomach and I could not try them, and Steven had like a bite, and he laughed.
Should have just sent him the bod. Been like, watch the first minute of this. Anyway. Kind of weird that the most successful cereal of all time, they're like, what if we changed something? What if we, like, altered it? I mean, it's not altering the original. It's like, we made a new thing, but it's like, it's almost the same thing. And I'm like, this doesn't need to exist. Anyway. Morning.
Morning. You want me to start reading some alerts while you just eat that? Because I can do that.
I mean, yeah.
Alright.
I was supposed to probably bring up milk separate and then do alerts.
You were.
I didn't listen to
You were too
the rules.
excited.
I was too excited about cereal!
We have 510 bits from Mr. Game Boy. I know it's probably out of your mind by now, but in the Puzzle Garage game, you were substituting the wrong way. Instead of making 2 into 1, you made 2 into 3. Either way, you did a good job with the rest of the puzzles.
It was hard. I was impressed that I got as far as I did. Also, for anyone that didn't watch it, the Game Builder Garage episode this morning it's very like Myst or The Witness, and it's really good. Like, the puzzles are good, the aesthetic is good. It feels like an indie game. Like, if you would have seen it without the context that it was Game Builder Garage, I don't think you would have known it was Game Builder Garage. So, anyway, it's pretty long because The Witness is terribly mind-numbing and altering, but check it out.
We have 300 bits from Ann B. Walsh. So the fruit gems I was making on Tuesday did not work. I got the flavor balance wrong, half of them stuck to the pan and the other half fell apart. Please send hugs or bourbon.
Well, that's like, that's the excitement of doing that sort of thing. It's like sometimes it's an experiment. You don't know if it's gonna work. You try it, it doesn't work, you go, chemistry. That's the word. It's chemistry. You just gotta try some things sometimes.
We have a subscription from Faison4. Welcome.
Welcome.
We also have a new subscription from Jaden. Welcome.
That must be new now. It says 1 month.
Yeah.
Neat.
And a 27-month resub from Mr. Game Boy.
Oh, man.
Did you slap your dripper? I'm sorry. Oh, you're waking up Kepler. How dare you?
I slapped my dripper.
Oh, sweetie, it's okay. He got tissue. You can lay your little head back down.
Sorry, buddy. I got the milk and it went outside the mouth. You just relax, buddy.
We have a 20-month resub from Summer Essentia. 32 months from It's a Shio 9. And also 32 from Colin DeP. Kep's eyes so shiny. Are you shiny eyes this morning? Hi, cutie. We have a 7-month resub from Simmer44. 21 months from Charlemagne25. 5 months from Pastel Sakura YT. I'm okay. And 14 months from A Good Boy Game Leads. Kepler smelled the milk. I don't think he's ever tried any. Like, we had a cat growing up that would try and, like, drink the milk out of your cereal bowl.
I don't think Kep has ever tasted milk.
No.
To my knowledge. I don't think him or Sagan ever had milk.
Well, dairy milk isn't good for cats' tummies.
Yeah. That's why they never had it.
Dairy cow milk. They sell, like you can get, like, KMR, kitten milk replacer, for, like, babies. But then they have, like, an adult cat milk, which has, like, the flavor, but none of the stuff that messes with their stomachs. Because some cats just like it. But I've never bought it, because he's never been interested.
My philosophy with the cats has always been, the minute you start to introduce them to other foods, you run the risk of them being like, no, that's what I want now. As a result, I have always had a super firm stance of, like, no human food. Like, not scraps, not anything. The exception, I think, the only exception I can think of is occasionally if a piece of cheese falls on the floor when we're, like, making a pizza or making something, Kep is allowed to eat that cheese. And that's it. And I honestly think that's, like, the only
And it's only, like, if it happens.
Mm-hmm.
But Sagan was very... He liked to experiment and try whatever we were having. And he didn't always go after everything, but, like, he went after that chicken.
Yeah. He was pretty good, but, like, it's one of those things that if you were just sitting there eating and Kep comes up to you, Kep is not going to eat your food.
No.
He's not going to do it. Like, he'll come up and he'll smell it. There's a 0% chance the cat's going to eat your food because he just has never done it.
Even if it's something like chicken.
Mm-hmm. He has no interest. Mm-hmm. Sagan would. Like, if Sagan comes up to your food, you need to hold it away because, like, he's gonna eat it.
There was something we would eat that he would just desperately try and get. Jerky. He really wanted the... Because I like...
He thought it was for him.
Because it's the container. It's the same zip top. He tried to steal the turkey out of my hands, though, so he must have smelled it. Because I'm not a big fan of beef jerky, but turkey.
Turkey is. Mm-hmm. It's good. It's really good.
Anyway, we have 300 bits from Shy, who says, you know what we haven't done in a hot minute? Anime recommendations. I'll go back to the early 2000s and say Rave Master, which follows the tales of a motley crew of travelers.
Only familiar with it because there is a GameCube game of it.
I am not familiar with it.
That's the only reason I know what it is. And it was super regional because I could never find it around here. And when we went on our road trip to the Northeast, I started seeing it, and I was like, this is where it was. New England took all the rave master. Typical New England.
Another 300 bits from Shy. The party consists of, but is not limited to, a swordsman, a trigger-happy amnesiac, and a glorified metal bender. Also, as a bonus ska fact, the English opening is done by a real big fish.
Oh, that's kind of neat. I mean, I like ska, so I'd probably be like, this one. This one's a banger. I learned that word.
You didn't know that word?
I probably did, but I relearned it.
8 a.m. Santa's coming.
I spoke to someone recently and they used that word. I was talking to Alex yesterday on the phone and I recounted a story and he was like, a banger? And I was like, that's the word they used. He was like, okay.
You take the keyboard back so I can just eat my yogurt and pet Kepler? That's all I do here.
That's not true.
I sit here, pet Kepler.
That's not
and
even
eat
true.
yogurt.
But yes, you can. Alright, let's read. Hold on, I'm burping. While I burp, enjoy this treat.
The truest joy of the holidays is Tiny Eddie's soft milk muffins.
I don't like the phrase soft milk. But if you phrase it like they're milk muffins and it's soft milk. Also, I think
what if they're soft muffins?
I think soft milk muffins is like a dirty. 1,000 bits from Kit Khalid. After almost 2 months working overnight fulfillment while fighting bronchitis, I'm feeling better in time for 4 days off to bake Christmas cookies. Can Tiny Eddie give me a celebration snack to add to the list? Soft milk muffins.
What if it's like milk bread?
What is milk bread?
It's a Japanese bread. I've always wanted to make it. You know that really fluffy Japanese bread? It's almost like angel food cake.
No.
Okay. Well, maybe
Sorry.
I'll make it sometime.
I don't want to lie to you. I want to be like, yeah, I know what you're talking about. I'm like, I have no what you're talking about. Hey, that's a lot of beef. 5 months from Sharkstole, 30 months from Luna Boy, 100 bits from Depidius Bidoof, 200 bits from JW Barker 24, 20 months from Floor Wolf, 300 from Mincarno. It says, just found out Tuesday afternoon that my brother has COVID. So far, no one else does. I've been self-quarantining in my room, except for work.
Sorry to hear that.
I wish you and your family well.
Bye, Kepi.
It is one of those situations where, like, I've heard stories of folks that live together and someone gets COVID and the rest does not. Mm-hmm. So, like, I hope that this is one of those situations. Just, you know, you're already doing it right. Just stay away from people and do your best. And then also related, I wish your brother well. I hope that your brother's recovery is swift and doesn't have any like major side effects of it. We got 2 months from Phantasmabry, 8 months from Genesis, 300 from Valix Butterfly. It says, good morning, grandparents. Hope all is well. Things are pretty good. I think Mao has a bit of a story. I'll let her tell it. We'll get through alerts first. But I'm good. Also, I'm real good. Yesterday night, I finally released December 5th's vlog. And it's just been a pain. It's just been a huge pain. And when people watch it, I don't know that they'll understand the kind of pain in the butt it was. Because they'll just be like, oh, that's cool. Yeah, that's neat. Good. But like, it was over 100 minutes of footage. It's edited down to under 13 minutes. Like, so much of the vlog was like stabilized and color corrected and tweaked here, and like I had to do all these things because I was like, once you get started doing that, you're in it. You know what I mean? Like, if you decide I'm going down this hole, like, then you're doing it. And it's a good vlog. It's funny, and it has like the funny stuff, and then also it's got parts that are like really well done and pretty, and I'm like, anyway, watch it. I very rarely I just tell people, I'm like, listen, this vlog, watch this one. But watch it, please. Please watch it. Cook forever. Now, where was I? 30 bits from Cheese Hammer. It says, you say those bits of cheese for Kepler fall on the floor by accident. But I've got to confess, that's actually my doing. Got to look out for my cat, bro. The hammer hits just a little bit harder and a cheese chunk goes flying. Well, Kep appreciates it. Kep, even getting that, though, even getting the little piece of cheese, it's not like it, like, he's not like, oh my god, cheese. He's just like, this, okay, yeah, alright, sure, alright, I gotta go.
It's like he forgets it's something that he likes.
Yeah, he's not gung-ho about it. If one of his cat foods was like cheese-based, which would be really weird,
there's canned food that has cheese in it.
I don't think he would care much for it. He'd just be like, eh.
Congratulations, White Wolf Gaming. There you go.
There we go. I had to scroll up because I missed the announcement, but Mal got it. Congrats. White Wolf says, watching outside my wife's hospital room, she just gave birth to our daughter earlier this morning at 5:09 a.m. Super congrats.
10 a.m.
Also, I don't know if it says more about you watching this show right after your child is born, or the fact that there's just not entertainment on in the morning.
Wife might be asleep.
Well, yeah. I'm not saying White Wolf's like, oh, I have a kid. That's all right. I don't want to watch breakfast. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, like, there's probably not a whole lot of things to watch in the morning. We're here for you, and we'll also offer you a congrats. Thanks, Brandon. Anyway, that's exciting, so congrats. We got plenty of parents here that watch, so they will also share in your congratulations. And also the understanding of, like, yeah, watch breakfast room, it's fine. 500 Maldo says, I recently watched the Yoshi's Island LP again and learned that I can't hear the music without my mind going straight to the song you did about Jules. I don't remember. I do not recall. But that's okay. There's plenty of things I don't recall. Speaking of Yoshi's Island LP, StephenVlog is a channel that we launched 2 days ago. And so far, several of you have subscribed, which I appreciate. Thank you. We are going to be continuing to upload content to it. And I have had a lot of requests for Breath of the Wild. And so, I will be uploading the first Breath of the Wild VOD to that channel shortly. I'm going to try and get it up today. It might be out tomorrow. And the reason I'm doing that, or the reason it's going to, like, there's a window, is because it takes a long time to process those, and I'm not sure, but I feel strongly that it takes longer to process on new channels. Like, I think there's some sort of, like, trust issue. Like, if you've had it, Steamboy's been around for, like, forever, so, like, YouTube's like, yeah, him, yeah, it's fine. But on the new channel, like, it took forever to process Skyrim 1, and I was like, interesting. Remind Dan that the editing was amazing. I'm gonna give him some kind words today. So we'll see him for lunch. So, yeah, he did a really good job. And the great thing about this is that if you really don't like it, if you're like, no, I want it to look like the old Skyrim, watch the VOD channel. It's the same thing, because Skyrim, the Skyrim series is almost entirely uncut. It's like 283 episodes watching someone play every single second of Skyrim. And if you really do like that, you can watch the VOD. It's the same experience.
You get to choose.
You choose your adventure. Do you want your adventure to be normal speed, or do you want it to have a joke and be faster? You choose. Anyway, 40 bits for Charhutch, who says, so, I had an MRI on my back Monday, and apparently I have a 6th vertebrae, which is rare, and could or could not be causing the problems of something pinching my nerve causing all the pain. Annoyingly, I'm still waiting on the official call from my doctor to confirm. Interesting. That sounds like, I'm not an expert at this sort of thing, obviously, but that sounds like vaguely what Haley was dealing with.
Yeah.
Because Haley didn't have like any extra bone or anything, but her
nerves were being pinched.
Her nerves were being pinched by a bone, by one of her ribs. It wasn't her clavicle, but it was like
the
one of
behind
the.
it.
Yeah, it's like the. I'm gonna call it the almost clavicle. Counts as a rib, but like the almost clavicle. She actually had surgery at the beginning of this year, and like last year. Last year. Time is an enigma, and I have no idea. But she had surgery to remove that bone, or like cut it in half and remove some of it or something. Some part of her rib got removed.
Because the nerve was being pinched.
Yeah. So.
She talks about it on her Twitter.
Yeah. So I mean, I can't like diagnose you. That would be insane. I'm not a doctor, but it just sounds similar. So I wish you well in figuring it out. And you get a call from doctor and hope everything goes good. And again, the most important thing is like finding out, right? And that's the hardest thing.
Yeah.
Like when you find, like, science is cool, medical science is incredible. Like, I know that there's like so much more that we can still do, and like the sky's the limit, go science. But for where we are now as a species, we've done pretty dang good. But the hardest thing is knowing what you need. Because there's so many things that, like, I have these symptoms. It's like, well, it could be like 400 things. But when you can get it narrowed down, that's the most helpful thing. Anyway. Science rules! Agreed. 30 bits from Aguilobo, who says, morning all. I'll have you know you were immortalized in my math department's final exam given to 1,500 students. Yes! I want to most be remembered as a math problem.
Is it a math problem Stephen could solve?
Probably not, if it was given to that many people. Absolutely not. Aguilobo, if you have the details, I would love to know them. I would love to know, like, what the problem was. And I would most love to find out if I can solve it. But if it has any letters in it, the answer is no. We talked about this a little bit, but are problems harder when more people see them? Yes. What a dumb question, Chaz. Wildly dumb question. It was an investing money questions. The formulas were given. Oh, okay. Oh, I could probably do that then. I could do that. I could do it. I'm not good at all the things, but I'm good at some of the things. When we were in,
You told the story last week, or last breakfast stream. You've told the story.
What am I going to say?
When we were in Florida and we played Trivia Murder, there was
That's not what I was going to say. Although that's a great story because it puts me in a great light where I solved a math quickly. No, I was going to say when we were in Florida, we talked to, we had this conversation with Rhonda. Because I was talking and I had brought up, like, anytime, letters get involved in my numbers, I get all screwed up. And Rhonda was like basic algebra? And I was like, listen, we can't talk about it. She's like, you just act as if it's a... And I was like, no. Don't even start. I can't. The other day we were taking... Let me tell you about this. We've been taking walks every day. Mm-hmm. Yesterday, we're taking a walk, enjoying a walk.
What job does Rhonda do? She's a radiologist.
I don't know why she needs to know algebra for that. But anyway, we were taking a walk, a peaceful walk. A nice walk where you get exercise and you enjoy each other's company. And it was a nice day. I was just enjoying myself so much. And we walked past a tall tree. And I was like, I wonder how tall that tree is. And Mao took that upon herself to be like, oh, this is a math problem. And I was like, we could solve that with math. And I was like, I don't want to solve that. I was just like, about how tall. And Mal was like, so you see, whenever you have a triangle, and I was like, please stop. She's like, so all sides
A squared plus B squared equals C
all
squared.
all sides must add up to 180 degrees. And I was like, please stop. Please stop. Like, don't explain this to me. I just wanted you to be like, I don't know, about 90 feet. Like, that's the whole thing. Instead, it was like, so what we could do, and I was like, well, don't tell me what to do. I don't want to know what to do. I don't want to have anything to do with this. If I really needed to know how tall that tree was, I would ask someone who can tell me. I would not Google it. I would not be like, how do I figure this out? You know what I would do? The first thing I would do, and I don't think it would work, but I would try, is I would get out the measure app in the phone and be like, bottom of tree, top of tree. And I'd look at it, and if it seemed reasonable, then that would just be it. I'd be like, yeah, it's 100 feet. Done. Sometimes a walk is just a walk. The highest level of math I'm confident with. That's a great question. I can't answer it, but it's a great question. I took business math when I was in 9th, 10th grade. God, I don't remember. It wasn't...
You can do arithmetic.
I can't
Addition, subtraction, multiplication, division.
And the quick stuff I'm really good at.
Yeah, you're very good at quick math.
I can't
easy
do...
at addition, subtraction.
I can't do geometry because I don't know
times tables.
any of that. I'm pretty good at f-stop math.
What
Thanks,
about fractions?
Jess.
How do you feel about fractions?
They're vulgar. It's a little joke.
Don't you remember, like, cross
It's a little joke for the
multiply?
math people.
I'm sure you could do simple algebra.
I make jokes when I don't know what the answer is. Where was I? 100 bits from Captain Joe 08. And 500 bits from Alapia says, it's been a really good week for me. Thanks. In large parts.
Thanks in large part.
Thanks in large. I read it as, it's been a real good week for me. Thanks. Thanks in large part to this whole community. So I just want to share the good vibes with everyone. Well, that's great. That's great. I'm glad your week's been going pretty good. Our week's on the whole been, I think, good. Other than yesterday.
Today's not looking so great.
Well, you gotta recover a little bit. Okay, you want to tell your story?
So yesterday I was at 6 weeks post-op from my surgery, and my surgeon had asked that I have my local doctor, because my surgeon's out of state, instead of traveling all the way back to Atlanta, could your local doctor do a little checkup just to make sure you're all right? Because, I had a hysterectomy. There's things I can't see. And, they were very confused why I wanted to make that appointment. And I explained to the lady on the phone, and she was like, oh, all right then. And then, I was in the room yesterday, and my local doctor peeked her head in, and she was like, why are you here? I didn't do your surgery. And I explained to her, and she's like, oh, well, I'll be in a minute. But then once she came in, and I was like, so I had excision surgery out of state, and I said, I was stage 4 and possible adenomyosis, and he took my uterus. I said, I need you to check on the cuff. And she was like, she immediately got super defensive and condescending, as if I didn't know what I had gotten myself into. I know what the surgical risks are. I had to sign a form. I did the research and found this doctor myself, but she kept saying how she could have done the surgery for me. And I'm thinking, you never...
The hysterectomy. Yeah,
that she said multiple times, she could have done the hysterectomy, but she also said she could have done the endometriosis surgery.
Okay.
But she never, suggested it, ever, in the times I've seen her in the last 5+ years. So, I don't know. And then she looked, and she was like, you're healing fine, and then people who've had pelvic exams know they push on your abdomen to feel the stuff from the outside. I don't feel like she should have done that while I had my sweater on and didn't know where my incisions were, and she pushed hard, and I'm only 6 weeks, and I hurt even this morning. So I had a really bad experience, and I was very upset. So
It was a rough day for Mal.
yeah,
Mal's downplaying this a lot. She had a really bad day yesterday.
yeah.
But, Mal doesn't have to.
No, I don't have to see her
See
again,
her
and I
ever
obviously
again.
don't plan to,
Yep.
because,
I mean, for
as
one,
a
you don't.
OBGYN,
you don't
I
need-
don't need to see her anymore.
You don't need her anyway. But also, now you're like, oh, I don't want to.
Yeah.
Don't really feel like going back after that.
And, besides the physical pain I'm in, I think the part that hurt me the most was when I last saw her back in March. I had to have my IUD removed for surgery to let my endometriosis kind of like get angry and visible, because sometimes it's not visible.
Mm-hmm.
And I explained this all to her at that appointment, and I was like, hey, I found the surgeon. He's like, all he does is treat endometriosis. I'm really excited about it and think he's gonna like do really good surgery. And she was excited for me back in March.
Yeah.
And she was like, you don't want to drive all the way back to Atlanta for your post-op. Please let me do your post-op. I want to see photos. I want to know how it went. And then to be treated that way yesterday, I was really upset.
Yeah, because you went in happy and excited.
Yeah, and I had been feeling really good, and then I don't feel good now because my whole, belly button down hurts, so.
Yeah. Yeah, it just sucks. It just really sucks. And I try to give people the benefit of the doubt.
And I didn't even go in accusatory like, hey, you downplayed this for years. I was like, so I had that surgery I talked about, and this is what was found.
Yeah.
And then it was immediate, well, I could have done the hysterectomy, as if I should have stopped my surgery after he took all of the endo and then had a second surgery and let her take the uterus.
Yeah. I don't know. The whole story does seem extremely defensive, which is weird based on how she acted in March. But
Yeah.
so I try to give people the benefit of the doubt when I can. Yesterday, when Mal went in, there were multiple other women there for the same doctor at the same time slot, and it really felt like a scheduling problem. Like, it really felt like someone in scheduling screwed up and multiple people were there. And I'm thinking that because of that, the doctor was stressed out. And, that doesn't excuse being short with Mal and saying what she did to Mal, but it would help explain it a little bit better. But you don't have to go back.
The nurse that did the check-in with the weigh-in and the blood pressure and everything,
Yeah.
she was, tight-lipped. I mean, I couldn't see her lip because she had a mask on, but, not happy, didn't say much.
I suspect, and again, this doesn't excuse the behavior, but it can help explain it. I suspect that folks in there were probably all super stressed because there was a lot of people that should not have been there, and someone in scheduling is fired. That's my assumption.
Anyway,
but who knows?
I'm calling my surgeon to see what they think, because I talked to some other people who've had surgery, one of which with my doctor, my surgeon, and they were like, you should have never been pushed on that way. So I'm going to see what my surgeon's office says. I did get an automated review that was like, how was your appointment? And I filled it out honestly and explained what happened. So they want me to talk to them.
Yeah. So anyway, I think Mal will be fine, but it has been a day,
Yeah.
and she still hurts, so it's probably
I
something's
hadn't
probably
taken painkillers
bruised.
since the last time I took painkillers was when we arrived to Florida, because the trip down to Florida was a little rough, and that was the last time I took any, and I had taken a single Tylenol. Yesterday I had to take 2 extra strength, and I took a regular when I first got home,
Yeah.
because I was like, this hurts, let's take one of these.
And you've had to use the ice pack and stuff.
Yeah.
So anyway, you're okay.
Yeah.
You'll be okay. It's one of those things just give it a little time. Hopefully by tomorrow you'll be feeling
Yeah.
a lot better.
It's me, Sailor Moon.
Anyway, let's read alerts. Let's read alerts as Digital Nugget gifts 5 tier 1 subs. Thank you, Nugget. I Appreciate it. Where'd those go? Let me tell you with my mouth. Wonder J13, Laley LP, The Why Not Scott, Diabetic Basic Grease. Bacon grease. What kind of grease is this? Is this bacon grease? No, it's just basic. And Silvameyer. Digital Nugget, thank you. Appreciate it. We also had 300 bits from Amby Walsh that says, okay, Grandpa, what is a perfect number? Made of angels plus good. 10. Made of angels plus good. Made of angels is 7. Good is 3. I figured it out. I'm a math whiz. Incredible. 500 bits, but Therlude says, I'm tired so my brain cannot handle all the math talk, so it's turning into mush. Moon God help me. That's how I feel basically all the time. We get started talking about math and I'm like, can't do it. And 30 months from Everchanger, 34 months from Marty Griff 1980, and 12 months from Wolfley 1513. Thank you all. And says, see, you can do algebra, Stephen. You just have to put it in your terms. Sure. Sure. I guess if we changed out all of the letters to, you know, how many fingers you got on your left hand, then I would start to maybe understand it a little bit better. Maybe. Anyway, I got through the alerts. That cereal was fine.
Yeah.
It came from Costco. So there's
a lot
100
of it.
pounds of it. Everything. I do wish. I love my mother dearly. I appreciate trying new things. I do wish when my mom bought something new for us to try that it came from any place other than Costco. It's like those Jimmy Dean ham things. It's like, here, you want to try these? And I'm like, I do. I don't know that I want to try 50. It's fine. Necrocade asked if we've been keeping up with Pokemon Unite. I did see that Dragonite was coming. The only reason I keep up with Pokemon Unite at this point is because friends are still playing it and they talk about it. And I'm in the Discord where they talk about it, and that's it. I have not played the game. I have not played in Season 2. Let me put it that way. I have not played a match in Season 2. I have turned on the game because there's little things you log in for, and it's like, you want like the free tickets? And I was like, yeah. But I have not played a match, and I mean, Noah's right. I do need to get back to Master, but I got like 40 days. And I'm like, I'll get there. My issue is that I have too much guilt about it because...
You have work to do.
Because I have work to do. When I was caught up on vlogs, I was playing Unite, and I didn't feel bad about it. Mm-hmm. But if I'm behind on vlogs, which I am, I can't do it. I have so much immense guilt if I were to play the game that... I couldn't do it. See, that's the trick. Necrocade says Unite could be work. Correct. That's the trick. If I do a stream of Unite, then it's work.
10 a.m. Santa's coming.
We just got the
What I need to do is I need to set up the travel monitor and the Elgato again in my studio.
Yeah.
Because everything got torn down for Extra Life. And right now it's hard for me to play it and also be on Discord
you're also
with
playing
friends.
Tsushima.
Yeah.
So you're not even playing it right now. What was I gonna say?
I played a bit when I was still like on the couch recovering.
What was I gonna say?
Pokemon Unite. Play.
It's gone.
Okay.
It's gone. There was something there. Oh wait. Oh, got it. The Twitch review recap. All of these companies have recaps. The Spotify recap came out, and everyone's like, yeah, Spotify. Then the Nintendo Switch one came out.
I think they all copied Spotify.
Probably. I mean, I don't think Spotify's the first company ever to be like, here's what you did this year. But most notably, yeah. My Nintendo one never loaded.
I haven't gotten a Twitch one.
Did you get a Nintendo one? Mm-hmm. Did it work?
Yeah.
I went to load it, and it comes up, and it's like... loads the web page and I can briefly see it, and then it like keeps like loading, and then finally it comes up and it's like, this web page crashed, and I'm like,
Did you try it on another browser?
no, I need to. That was on the phone. I need to try it on the desktop. Anyway, the Twitch one came out, and if you didn't see, I posted about it on Twitter yesterday. And it's a cool little post because it actually shows images of all of the games that we played. And there was a lot. Here, let me tell you with my mouth. And you're like, no, that's okay. I can just go look it up. No. Let me tell you.
There's a few people who said theirs was crashing too and had to load it on the computer.
Okay, well, at least I don't feel alone. So, if you didn't see the Twitter post, this is a reminder of the games that we played this year. Some of these blew me away because I forgot they happened this year. And this is in chronological order. Breath of the Wild. That already threw me for a loop because I'm like...
It doesn't throw me for a loop.
It threw me for a loop because I forgot we were still streaming Breath of the Wild. It felt like over a year ago.
Yeah.
But that was this year. We were still streaming Breath of the Wild at the beginning of this year. Bowser's Fury.
That throws me for a loop.
That feels like a long time ago. I did a stream of Mario Brothers 35. I think the last day it was available.
It was.
I got third place the first time I played and then never did that good ever again. And then your first time playing, you got second place or something? Gosh darn it. We did a few streams of New Pokemon Snap. At some point, we'll definitely still come back to that. Did a stream of Game Builder Garage.
When it came out?
When it first came out. To show off the story mode?
Tutorial.
The tutorial, yeah, tutorial. We did Mario Golf Super Rush several times. I don't know that I ever won. Whenever, I forgot all of their names. Chaz, Jeff, and Paul.
Yes.
My first thought was, when Matthew, Mark, and Luke were here, my friends, the Gospels. When Chaz, Jeff, and Paul were here, we did a stream where we played Mario Kart and Smash. Mario Kart didn't work. Remember? Like,
yeah.
It like would not.
Yeah.
We tried to do the connected thing and it just stopped working. We're like, oh, that's great. So we did Smash. We streamed A Way Out, which actually does feel recent because that was just a few months ago. After A Way Out, we streamed It Takes Two. Then, only after It Takes Two did I start streaming Pokemon Unite. Did a few of those. We did WarioWare Get It Together, single player, and then another stream for Versus. We played all of Luigi's Mansion. We did that one-off for Sonic Colors Ultimate. We did the one-off for, what's it called? Clubhouse Games. We did Extra Life, which I put on here separate because, like, that was a whole thing. We did Jackbox Party Pack 8. Whenever
Extra Life.
Chaz and Jeff were here for Extra Life. We did a stream of Mario Party Superstars, and then we ended off the year by doing Skyrim. And I can't say, like, ended off the year, because there's still a little bit left, but, you know, it's most of the year. The interesting thing is that the top categories, as expected, number one is Breakfast Stream, for just chatting, because we do a lot of that. After that was Breath of the Wild. It Takes Two, Skyrim, and then Pokemon Unite, and that one was surprising to me.
You did that a few times, though, throughout the year.
I know, but I only did it like maybe 3 times or something, and that means that Pokemon Unite had more watch time than Luigi's Mansion. And I was like, really? Really? And Pokemon Snap, which also had more than 3 streams.
Yeah. I don't know.
I was surprised. I was actually surprised. Anyway, now that information is in this stream, in this video. It's not just on a tweet. So yeah, I thought that it was interesting because I was like, I really didn't expect that. And I don't ever really keep track of like viewership because I'm bad at my job. So I don't keep track of like what the viewership is doing. But it seems as if there were a lot of people that liked watching Pokemon Unite. So maybe I really should stream more of that because it seems like a lot of people like it. So I don't know. And Esther Delix says A Way Out didn't count. No, because A Way Out only had 2 streams, so the watch time would have been shorter than some of the other stuff. Anyway, Mark gifted 5 subs. Thank you, Mark. Mark gave subs to Boo1114, Night Owl 20, Sneezy. It's a good way of spelling Sneezy. Bro Train 32 and Matter 405. Mark, thank you. Appreciate it. There are also some alerts that came in. 500 from Digital Nugget says, morning grandparents, not much going on today. Just starting to wake up after being out of bed for an hour and a half, so we'll see where the day goes. Yeah, that's not an unfamiliar phrase for me. There are times, especially on the weekends.
Mm-hmm.
What happens very specifically? Other people might identify with this. I get up to feed the cat. And if I don't stay up, sometimes I'll get back in bed. Not even to go to sleep. But like, my philosophy is Mal's still in bed. So I'll get back in bed and I'm like, oh, I don't really want to go back to sleep. So I'll be on my phone and I'll just like sit next to Mal. At some point she may even wake up and we'll just kind of chill. We'll just be like, because I don't mind chilling in the bed on the phone in the morning. I don't really like to do it at night because you're losing sleep. I don't want to lose sleep. I don't mind losing a little day. Losing a little day as a treat, totally fine. Losing night, I don't want to lose night. Because you need the sleep. It sounds like you need sleep. You're doing a lot of yawning.
Well, I was up hurting and
taking
pills last night.
That's why. That's why. 3 Bits from Night Owl says, good vibes for making it through the 19-credit 6-class semester into winter break.
Wow.
Happy to finally be able to watch streams again, too. My God.
I think that was the limit. They didn't let us take more than 19 at my schools.
That's a lot. That's a whole lot. Like, I think the SCAD classes were... I think our SCAD classes were 5.
Sounds right to me.
And you could only do... I mean, you could... There were people that did 4 of those.
4 or 5 credits.
Yeah. So all the classes were 5 credit, and a normal semester was 3 classes. So you only had 3 classes. But, like, doing 4... anyone that did 4 classes was, like, nuts. It was like, what are you doing? What are you doing?
I remember being confused my first semester, though. They were like, we're gonna give you only 15 credits.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, but how many can I take? Because I got a lot of openings in my schedule. And having come from high school where you're there, like, 8 to 3, it seemed very different. And I was like, I could do more.
Nope.
And I did fine,
No,
but I was like, I'm not doing this again.
You absolutely can't.
The best gift is family. Second best is Tiny Eddie's burnt tricycle fingers.
Aw, thanks. You shouldn't have. Opens gift. Oh, you shouldn't have. Oh my God. Are these fingers? Yeah. They're fingers that have been removed via tricycle. So they lay the fingers down, they run over them on the tricycle until they come off, and then we burn them. 1,000 bits from Volex Butterfly. Okay, Tiny Eddie, what wonderful snack are we going to gift to Mal's ex-OBGY? Well, I can't wait until they reboot, what's the film with the horse head? Godfather?
Yeah.
But it's just Tiny Eddie snacks. Who knows what you'll get? Something good? Something bad? Who knows? Something wonderful. 500 bits from Digital Nugget says, speaking of Twitch recaps, I checked mine the other day, and my top viewed channels, guess who didn't have a profile picture? Was it us?
Why don't we have a profile picture?
We should. We should. We should. But sometimes things get screwy. Yeah, we have one. I haven't changed it. Oh my God, I just realized. Yeah, Mr. Deathkills is right. I promised Adri at the beginning of this year that I would change the profile picture. Oh God. Oh no. Oh no.
And you need a haircut? Oh.
I am gonna be a liar when I don't do it.
You are.
At the beginning, so at the beginning of this year,
You thought, I'll get a haircut and do it later.
yeah, I was like, because every time the subject of profile pictures comes up, I'm always like, LOL, I haven't changed my profile picture since 2009. The profile picture that you see across all my social media is from 2009. It's old. And I was like, I should probably, like, change it. And Adri had said something on Twitter about, like, I'm going to change my profile picture. And then I said something that was like, hey, before the end of the year, I'll change it. And now I'm like, but no, I won't. I won't do it. I'm like, I don't have time. I gotta, like, get... I gotta like figure out what I want. I don't know what I want to do. Brandon says, wait, you changed your profile picture back from the wedding photo to the 2009 photo on Twitter? What wedding photo? I've never used a wedding. I've only ever used the 2009. Mao has had a wedding photo. So you might be thinking of Mao. My profile picture has not changed at all since 2009. This is not only did you lie, but you lied to make Adrienne feel good, and now she's gonna feel bad. Why you always lie? So anyway, watch on December 31st. I'll be like, here. It'll just be my face going. It'll just be that. Perfect, done. Where was I? So Elfie Goldfish gifted 5 subs. Complete change of subject. They went to Short Person, Zelia, Ricky the Harapon, Matapod, and Emotional Support Panda. Elfie, thank you. Everyone pointing out I still have time. I mean...
Those were noises.
Kinda. So, first off, I gotta get a haircut. Because my hair is, you could see, my hair is too long. This is not the way I normally have my hair. I'm not going to be able to get my hair cut until probably early next week. I mean, there is still time. I could do this. I need to find a good spot to get, and you're going to have to take a photo of me. Sounds hard. If I had a good still... from
right, Chess?
From a vlog. If there was like a really good still in a vlog, it's like, oh yeah, that looks really good. That's like a good representation of.
It doesn't have to be your profile picture for the next 12 years.
Okay, but
Maybe
it probably
just a bit,
will be.
and then you can take another one.
But it probably will be. That's the thing. That's how often I change these things. Anyway. John said, for context, John's is the one that didn't load. Which actually makes sense, because John's, not only is John glitched the video games, John's life itself is glitched. Which is very unfortunate. At least ours is fine. Yeah, ours is fine. I could just flip the current one. I could. Alex always hated this profile picture. Ever since I first took it. Ever since 2009, when Alex first saw it, he hated it. He was like, "You look sad." And I was like, "I feel like I look stoic." He's like, "No, you look sad. You're about to cry." And I'm like, "Oh my god!" And then I just never changed it. So I don't think he's wrong. He rages against it once every 2 years, which doesn't sound like a lot, but it means that this happened 6 times. It's true. It's true. Keep it to spite him. I do think that I could have a photo that's a little more representative of me and my personality. It's not a great one. So I'm sure I could come up with something better. I also look different. I know that there's so many people that they're like, "You haven't aged." And I'm like, that's not true. It's really not true. Like
Looking at photos of you from 2009, you look like a child.
I look like a child, and I've grown up a lot in 12 years. So I'll try and get a picture that is representative of that change. Probably.
You could just run the picture through like a TikTok age thing.
Stop. No. 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 Oh my god. 14 months from Kokugan.
10 a.m. Santa's
And 3
coming.
bits from Digital Nugget says, so I find it funny you calling me John because I'm slowly becoming a tiny John. Little tiny John. Just don't collect that many video games. Because if you ever have to move, it's too difficult. Let's announce things that are happening today.
It's Thursday.
It's Thursday! Okay, anything else?
No.
Extra Life continues today. Today's release is... What is today's release? I uploaded it last night, right? Oh god. Yeah, I did. I definitely did. I definitely did.
I don't know. You can find out after.
Yeah, I knew this information and I forgot. It goes... Fire Emblem came out yesterday. God, did I upload it? Oh yeah, we didn't roll beans, did we? Here, there you go. Sorry. Deal or no deal? Thank you, Nick. Of course I forgot that.
Did you upload it?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Because once I read that, my brain was like, you did it! Yeah. Did you know that when you upload a video onto YouTube, under the gaming category, that one of the options, there's an additional field for putting in the game title. And this metadata, if you don't put it in, sometimes YouTube will detect it automatically using magic or dark wizardry, I'm not sure. However, there are occasions where the game is not in that list. And I will have you know that despite the fact that we were playing Deal or No Deal Special Edition, that Deal or No Deal Special Edition was not in the list. Just Deal or No Deal.
It's not the same.
I'm going to bring this up with YouTube at the next meeting. I'll have you know, in this one, the animation is better, which is incredible because the animation is atrocious. If you didn't see the Deal or No Deal segment during Extra Life, please watch today's video. It's insane. You're like, just the mouth's going. It's not where the budget went. It's not where the budget went. Other things,
Stream tomorrow?
Yeah, stream tomorrow. Don't miss it. Mal's going to be back. Big deal,
Yep.
because Mal's going to be here doing gaming stream with us, and we are playing Big Brain Academy, Brain versus Brain, courtesy of Nintendo. They sent over a code for this game. We're going to try it out.
It's my first Friday stream back.
Yeah, I'm excited to have you, and we'll put our brains to the test. And if you're interested in playing this game, I'm just going to tell you, I saw it on Best Buy for $15. The game just came out, so I don't know why.
Santa's coming.
I don't know why it's only $15, but it's $15. I think Amazon may have price matched it, so like, I can't tell you if the game's fun. I haven't played it, but we'll find out tomorrow, and I'm just really surprised that the game is already $15. I'm like, didn't this like just come out? Anyway, so that's tomorrow. And that's it. That's the only things to announce?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. And like I said earlier, what were we talking about earlier? The VOD. The VOD channel. I'm going to try and get the Breath of the Wild VOD up on there at some point. Might be today, might be tomorrow, we'll see. Vlogs, we'll see. The next vlog is where we do engagement photos for Carly and Kyle. And I am not editing that vlog until I have edited the engagement photos.
You're pretty fast at that, though.
I'm pretty fast at that. But I want to make sure I get that done, for one, so they have engagement photos because, like, they need them. And then the other thing is I want to be able to put them into
the video.
I want to be able to put them in the video. But I know that if I give myself this little dam, if I'm like, I can't continue to work on my stuff until I get this done, then I know I'll actually do it. Because I'm real good at being like, that's okay, I'll just put it here. And then I get there and I'm like, I just put it here. I'm just gonna move it a little bit. And then I never do it. And then, you know, Carly and Kyle are married and they're like, hey, we've been married for 10 years. Can we get those engagement photos? So, Vagabond, Adobe Camera Raw. I guess I own Lightroom.
Yeah, but you don't know it.
I never use Lightroom. I have used it, but I don't use it.
Yes.
Maybe I'll load it up.
Do you
Maybe
really
I'll load
think
it up.
now is the time to play around with it?
Yes.
Chaz.
Don't talk to him. Don't let him know that I said that. When I got 55 raw photos to edit. When other time am I going to use Lightroom? I'm not going to load up Lightroom to edit one raw photo. If I got 55 photos to edit, Lightroom, that's the time to try it out and be like, let's use it Lightroom.
When Chaz was here, he commented, he's like, whenever you guys, like, talk about doing something, you always try to blame it on the other.
If anything bad, it's because you told it. Don't tell Chaz. I'm just saying, but you know, think about it. You're never going to be like, I took one photo and I have to edit it. I have to get a Lightroom. You're never going to do, I don't know why I became Mickey Mouse, but like, you're never going to do, like, that doesn't make sense. I got 55. I got a little bushel.
Yeah, but you have to learn Lightroom.
I don't have to learn anything. It's an Adobe product. I already know instinctively how to use it.
Okay.
It probably works extremely close to Adobe Camera Raw. It's probably the same program. They probably just put the little logo on the front. They were like, this is Lightroom now. And it has like an extra feature. That's it. It's easy. And also, I used it once. It's been like 10 years, but I used it once. God, y'all remember Aperture?
Yes.
When Apple had their own thing?
I used it, I know.
Yeah, back when Apple like cared about pro apps, before they were like, we make phones. Where was I? 300 Bits Applied to Pikachu says, so I was checking out my Switch year in review thing, and apparently I was top active player for Xenoblade 1 with 164 hours. I was a little surprised by that. Emil would be proud, though. That's a lot of time. That's a lot of time. I wonder what top active player means in respect to the Switch year in review, like top 1% or something?
Don't know.
But also, that seems like a pretty good amount of time for Xenoblade. Like, if you're gonna do all the things, like it's gonna take you a while. We got 300 Bits of Maximin says, speaking of profile pictures, my Twitch and Steam profile picture is still Jovi from the 2019 Extra Life playthrough of Pokemon XD. When you dared us to make Jovi our profile picture on all our accounts, I really stuck to the bit. I try to do that every year. Like every Extra Life, I try to find one thing, one image where I'm like, this is it. And the Jovi one is really good. I don't remember what it was for this year. I'm sure I did one, but I don't remember what it was. If you remember, tell me. We got 300 Bits of Satsy says, while you've been enjoying the stream, some folks in chat have been fighting the chat window that keeps kicking the cursor from it. Maddening. Are you having issues with Twitch? Because I've been having some issues with Twitch. I've had a problem, and it's been driving me nuts. It's been driving me absolutely nuts. Was there not one this year? Oh, no. Well, anyway. I've been having an issue where I always update the go live message from the phone. And lately, it doesn't work. Because in order to update the go live message, you have to choose a category. And the category field on the phone is broken. It's broken. It used to be not broken. And as of like a few days ago, it's broken. When you go to click on it, and I'm like, we're in just chatting. It doesn't update. Which means, normally, I get up here in the morning, I set everything up, and then I'm like, all right, here's my go live message. I can't do that. Now I have to get up and walk to the computer and type the thing into the computer because this doesn't work. Ah! Oh, and before I go, I'm gonna show you a thing that I just did because it makes things better. I'll explain, and I'll let you go after that. 300 Bits from Digital Nugget says, a budget? What's that? I have none. Everybody needs a budget, even if it's just a mental budget, for what you should eat in a day. You should have a budget. You just let me talk sometimes.
I do.
Don't you? 300 Bits of Maldo says, speaking of Twitch recaps, my top 3 emotes are Good Vibes, Beans, and Duck Face, which is the true essence of Breakfast Stream. Those were also actually hold on. Those were the top. Yeah. So the top. So I get a thing that tells me what the top used emotes on the channel were. Mm-hmm. Top most used emote on our channel is the Total Biscuit lol face, which actually probably makes sense because that's such a universal emote. So, like, it's fine. It's fine. It's a good one, too. See? Like, there it is. Second most used is good vibes, which also makes a lot of sense because folks ask for good vibes. Chat gets filled up with good vibes. And I actually like that. I think that's really nice. Third most was the kept surprised face.
It's a good emote.
Which is a really good emote. The fourth is beans, which also makes sense because people are asking for beans twice a week. Beans is getting a lot of use twice a week. And then the fifth is duck face. Neat. We have a variety of artists then, because I made good vibes, Wembler made the kept surprised, and Chaz made the duck face.
I mean, not at the time. It was not intended for that.
I know, but you know, we've gotten so many. we've gotten so much mileage out of that like 30-second drawing. Chaz did that 30-second drawing like years ago, and all of this mileage. Chaz is a great artist. That's a duck. It's not a duck. It's not a duck. It is not a duck. It's that we call it duck face because it was originally duck goiter, and it's that face, and there's a duck jutting out of the neck, and that's what it looks like. But we don't need the goiter. Chaz says also, it only looks like a 30-second drawing. It took many minutes. That's how you know I'm a great artist.
I remember complaining for a long time that night in Broken Picture Phone that Chaz was taking forever.
Don't says, can it tell what of your emotes get used outside of your chat? There's a website, Twitch emotes? Might be Twitch emotes. And you can go to a channel and look at individual emotes, and you can see what the level of usage is. So you can see where it's being used out. You could like base that to judge what's being used elsewhere, but it's also going to be pulling data from this channel. The emotes are going to most be used here, so it's probably going to skew it, but that's as close as you could probably get. All right. Is that it?
That's it.
That's it? Okay. Keep feeling like I'm forgetting something, but it's probably just the internal stress of knowing that I need to take a photo within the next 2 weeks, or Adri will stab me the next time that she sees me. I think she said that, though. I think that was part of the deal. Wasn't it? Is that part of the deal? She's like, I'm gonna change my profile picture. I was like, okay, I will too. She's like, okay, if you don't, I'll stab you. I think that was part of it. So we'll see. And for folks asking about Sora and Mail, hopefully this month. We're juggling some other stuff right now, so we'll see. But that's the hope. And I want to be like slightly realistic because we're juggling other stuff, and then at some point Dan's going to be going back home for the holidays. So let's just plan on January. Let's just plan on it, and if it comes out this month, it'll be a special treat because there's already so much other stuff, and we're having Dan work on more Skyrim, and like we're fine. 300 bits of digital nuggets says 15 days. Steven, good luck. Thanks. I'm gonna come up with something good. Yeah. We'll look at it.
Yeah.
Try and do something memorable and nice. Oh, I said I was gonna show you one last thing. Here's the last thing I was going to show you. So, before I let you go, I have been having issues. I've talked about this before. When I wake up in the morning, I come up here to set up breakfast stream, and my eyes are squiggled from going to sleep and being asleep. It takes a while to wake up. And when I'm focusing the camera, I focus it from the app, and I look at the screen, and I try to focus it, and it's not easy to do, and I still get it wrong. And I've always had the ability to do a focus assist. It's called focus peaking. But I don't usually do it because I have it set on the camera to do a clean feed. And I was like, I'm going to have to change all these settings, so I'm just never going to do it. Well, Tuesday's breakfast stream is focused very directly onto the mugs. And it's one of those things that unless you're watching like full screen, You probably won't know this. When I was done with the stream, I put it on the computer and it was like, oh my god, this again. So I decided to just finally avoid this by setting the camera up so I could control it. So now I can hit this button and I get focus assist. Some of you who know cameras will just automatically know what this is. For everyone else, it just shows you where the plane of focus is, which is really, really beneficial. So whenever I move it, I could be like, oh, okay, so that's in focus. And then in front, that's in focus. And if I want the mugs, I can focus on the mugs or on the stream deck or whatever.
Yeah.
It's just really helpful, you know, lines to quickly tell you. Because apparently my poor eyes cannot tell without peeking on where focus is. So that just tells you. So that's a little fun thing. That's a little fun thing for folks that don't know about the features in cameras. This has been around for a long, long time.
On my camera, it's light blue.
Yeah. You might be able to change the color on this. I don't know. You can actually...
Or red. I think I can switch it.
And you can assign different levels. So this is low. So if I do medium, there will be more of it. And if I do high, there will be more of it. So depending on like your specific needs, this will tell you where focus is.
Mm-hmm.
Generally, folks probably keep it on medium or something, depending on what they're doing. But I'm usually satisfied with it just being on low. Usually tells me enough.
Yeah.
But like, you would have to have it on low. Like if you were trying to focus on, let's say, like foliage or something, you'd have to have it on low because otherwise you wouldn't be able to tell what you were focusing on.
Yeah.
Diddle Nugget says, look guys, look, it's breakfast stream on the Virtual Boy. Anyway, I just thought that was neat because I like talking about camera stuff, and when folks don't know about things, then I can teach them and they learn something cool. Yeah. Next time we'll learn about zebras. Alright, thanks for watching. Have a good Thursday. We will see you tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern, although we'll get started a little early like we normally do. Brain versus Brain. What's it called?
Big
Big Brain Academy. Brain versus Brain. It is the only video game to ever use the word brain 3 times in the title. I haven't fact checked that, but I feel pretty confident in saying it's true.